Welcome, everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino arrow walk. This is the Unbound Sage, where you drop a $10 donation and I deliver to you whatever is the most important message for you to hear right now. I don't know where this message is going to come from. My psychic ability, your higher mind, empathic ability, a spirit. This is probably something that has been coming through for you for a while, but due to the busyness of life, the cryptic nature of communication and mediumship, what have you, you have missed it, or you need to hear it or hear it again. All right. So I don't know what it's going to be. Now, if you were tuning in tonight and you were like, well, I have a very specific question I want an answer for. That's not tonight's show. That's my other show. It's called Ask Ivy, and that's every other Wednesday. If that's the show you were hoping to get tonight, you can instead just drop an email question or book a reading with me. I do work internationally. It's a super simple self-booking system. So you can go on to IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com to do that. All right. And we'll get into specific questions at my next show. But for tonight, you are going to drop a $10 donation. You can see the directions up above. If you are on Instagram or TikTok, Kim, my beautiful producer, is posting the directions in the comment section. And once you drop your donation, I will be giving your message. All right. So if you are here on YouTube, you'll see the name pop up, and that means you're next. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. What do we have for you guys? First one up is Eric Evans. Eric Evans, what do I have for you? You need to clear your throat chakra. There is something that you're definitely not saying, and it isn't brand new. You've been holding on to this for a little while. So over here to the left side, which is always going to be the past, I have what almost feels like strep throat, a painful attempt at swallowing here. Now, I can't prescribe or diagnose, and if you are dealing with some of that, take it as a double message. I took this as more of a symbol for a closed throat chakra. When we leave a closed throat chakra unchecked, it will eventually, again, I can't prescribe or diagnose, but it will eventually manifest into swollen glands, allergic reactions, thyroid issues. We can have sinus problems, headaches, whatever. I mean, anything essentially from the lungs to the top of the head can be really negatively affected by this. So what this tells me, with it showing up to the left and being this harsh that it feels painful for me to even swallow, is that you've been holding something in for quite a while. Now, we're not going to have time to get into all of it today, nor would you want me to. But if we go back to your childhood, let me just say, you're getting triggered, okay, by what feels like maybe a romantic partner or three. And some of these can be from the past. I'm not saying you're dating three people right now per se, okay, but one is more current, two are from the past. Triggers. When we look at some work stuff, financial and resource-related issues, you could be feeling low self-esteem, confined, imprisoned in some way, as though you weren't allowed to be authentically yourself, as though your voice was shut down and your emotions were cut off. You weren't allowed to be who you really are. Therefore, when you're trying to pour into someone else's cup, or you're trying to reach some type of partnership in any of these areas, have camaraderie or have equality, but definitely to have intimacy, there is no way to get there because of this being closed off. All right. So, I like to say that with the throat chakra there, it's two-parter. It's A, speak your truth. And B, if you did, and it was disrespected, disregarded, nothing changed, nothing improved, you're going to have to set boundaries. And sometimes those boundaries are walking away. All right. But this is that time in your life. We need to clear this out so that you can move forward and not only have the benefits of those partnerships, reach those deeper levels of intimacy, and you can, do it authentically yourself, so that you can stop feeling like parts of you are hiding or parts of you are unsafe to let out. And I think that's really the ultimate goal. You also have a grandfather here who may have been responsible for a lot of this, who has karmic debt to you in this area and is encouraging you and helping you through this process. All right, next up is Maraid. Maraid, what do we have for you? your head is spinning. Your head is spinning to the left and it's spinning right here in present energy. So anything in the middle is going to be present energy. Anything in front of me is going to be free will zone, which means I don't know what you're going to choose, but you seem to be trying to figure some things out. And in order to go forward, you're having to look at your past and you're evaluating everything. You're saying, is this enough for me? Literally, that's the quote. Like, that's your brain. That's your higher mind anyways. Okay. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. It's like your higher mind is saying to you, the fleshy part, the human part of you, Mairead now, is this enough for you? And it's almost pointing the finger back at you saying, are you giving yourself enough? Are you building in the right way? Are you making sure that you're getting paid out properly? Is life organized in a good enough way that you feel fulfilled, the benefits, the excitement, the fire about the future and where you're headed? Okay. And I feel like I'm getting a lot of no's. No, 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 no. And so you're like, okay, I'm not going to freak out. That's fine. This is a lesson. Life is a process. And so what you're doing now is just sort of renegotiating. You're renegotiating with you. Okay. So it's you and it's your higher mind. So where I feel a lot of these negotiations are going to come from is essentially going backward. You may be seeing a lot of rainbows and prisms. Archangel Raziel is connected to the rainbows and the past and even past mistakes, but like unfinished business, alchemizing everything. I call him the get shit done angel. He is the angel who steps in, and angels who work for him and people who work for his angels. They are going to be stepping into your life to help you to see, this is where I was. This is how I can take everything from my past and elevate it, kind of marry it into my future goals. And so there's going to be a lot of that for the next 6 to 8 months. I do think that an opportunity is going to be offered to you, and you will see it ahead of time, like in a psychic vision and a prophecy at night in a dream, probably. And then a grandmother coming through, letting you know, mom's side of the family, lighter hair, didn't color it. I think that you're going to want to take that. It may be the answer and the solution to everything you're looking for. Let's say for the next few months, you're like building. Okay, now I have to create a new foundation for myself. And I'm in this state of transformation, but it's a little overwhelming. I want to make sure I don't make any wrong moves. This opportunity may just come in and fall right into your lap. And you're like, oh, I forgot. I do 50% of the work. The universe does 50% of the work. Bam, and there it is, a sweet release. Okay, movement forward. This is huge. This is a huge level up for you. Probably one of the biggest of your life. You'll have another one at like 36, 52. This is huge. CJG is next. CJG, what do we have for you? Shh. You're telling people to hush. I feel like you're telling your own mind to hush. I feel like you're telling your own self to hush, which is kind of funny. Because you seem to be going through a period of time where you're telling people, and this comes up to your past. So you've been telling people at least the last 4 months, maybe 8, to a year and 2 months. You've been telling different people at different times in different situations to like basically leave you alone, right? Or you haven't been addressing them at all, but you've been blocking your ears, blocking your vision, cutting them off. I'm not feeding it. I'm not entertaining it. I'm not addressing this. And then you are now in probably, I want to say the last day or so, and then going forward for about a week, you're telling yourself no. So you're telling yourself to hush. You're telling your mind to quiet down when it starts to bully you. Sometimes our worst bully is ourself. And it didn't start that way. A child isn't born like that. But, we don't have to go there. There were things that happened. Long story short, you know what they are. And now you have this inner dialogue that you adopted from the way the world talked to you, and people talked to you, and adults talked to you, and society talked to you, and the things that you witnessed. Okay. That are now holding you back. So it's, I heard reformation of your soul. This is a big deal. This is a big level up in that it has 2 separate levels up within it. So the first level up will be you quieting your mind, you getting control of your thoughts, you realizing from that how easy it is once you create a habit. It's kind of like weight loss or sugar addiction or anything else, after about 3 weeks, it gets a lot easier, right? So you're like, oh, that wasn't so hard. Now I control my mind. My thoughts aren't just running rampant, because our thoughts are, I want to say 65-70%. Is that accurate? Somebody let me know in the comment section. They're just repeat thoughts. It's the same crap every day replaying in your head, right? It's like a movie on repeat. It's insane. That's nuts when you think about it. And so you're able to control that and dictate actually what you think about. And the second part of this level up is going to be manifestation and law of attraction. So once you learn to control your mind in this way, you are able to deliberately, quickly manifest whatever it is that you want, essentially because, you're in alignment and you're able to utilize law of attraction, like attracts like. So you're bringing in more and more and more, claiming to you more positive experiences. This is a really big deal. But right now, you're getting a little ran over by your own self. If you are confused also some days about how to do this, look at what you just did to all these people you cut off. Now just do that to yourself. Do that to that annoying, cranky, irate voice in your head, okay? It's not who you are. Never was. Anna Pekka is next. Anna, what do I have for you? I have a feather being given to you, feather falling from the sky. I see you picking it up, and I see you writing with it. This is going to mean a couple different things. You're being watched over by your guides. You always are. That's not anything new. However, your guides in the last 2 weeks have been talking with you quite a lot more. So they've been trying to send you specific messages about getting rooted and grounded. I wouldn't be surprised if brown feathers are showing up a lot for you around this time. So this is a period of time for you to be more rooted and grounded. This is a time for you to, I want to say, rule out entertaining anything that makes you revert back into a dysregulated nervous system. You could be confronted quite a bit with like kinks and dopamine hits and unhealthy, people and situations that you're drawn to for an adrenaline rush, the belly flip, the roller coaster. This is coming up in your free will zone, which means these things are going to be coming towards you. These people are going to be coming toward you. It is up to you now to pass those tests to make sure that you are remaining rooted and grounded, okay, instead of feeding those things. You may be looking at a period of elevation directly after this if you can pass these tests. I want to say this goes for about 3 weeks to a month and a half, depending on how fast you are and whether or not you're passing it with flying colors or we need to check again. So yeah, maybe up to a month and a half. Hopefully, I didn't say a year and a half. I meant a month and a half. I don't know what I said, but 3 weeks to a month and a half. You're going to have these tests coming in. Now, why does the universe do this? Because it isn't enough for you to say, oh, I learned it, or my reader told me that. I know that now, or I could teach on this, or I could write a book on this, or I read a book on this. That's not enough. The universe goes, yeah, you say you know it. Now, when presented with the opportunity to elevate, let's see if you actually do. Do you set the boundary? Do you hold the line? Do you stay regulated and centered within yourself, or do you feed that chaos? So it's almost like taking the pacifier away from the baby, taking the bubba away and being like, okay, taking the diaper away and be like, it's time to potty train. We're done with this. This is a maturity phase for you. If you pass, that feather goes into your hair on the right side, which is a leadership position. Okay. And when we see leadership like this, it's not just going to hit one area. So you could start to see perks of that as soon as you pass. This is interesting. We are going to move on to Edgar Velardis. Edgar, what do I have for you? Somebody's whispering in your ear on the right right side ear. These are females, but I don't think these are just grandmothers or ancestors. I think they're guides. There's some angelic energy going on here. You're going to be encouraged, pushed for the next 6 months to say certain things. The right ear for you is your intuitive side, your psychic side. It is your higher mind, essentially, either through an annoying tinnitus, like a frequency or ringing. It could feel like tingling or heat. It could feel like pressure in the ear, like when an airplane goes up or comes down, or a seashell up to the ear. Whenever the right ear is activated, what we're talking about here is your higher mind essentially giving you messages about important instructions, downloads, things that you're supposed to be paying attention to in your surroundings, okay, at that time, including your own thoughts at that time. And you are able to use this information, okay, within typically minutes to 3 weeks. So the idea of spirit coming through and activating your right ear for you means spirit is in alignment, the universe is in alignment, your higher mind, right, are all in alignment with getting you from point A to point B. And that is going to require that you say what is coming through, whether you're channeling it, it was just on your mind, it's your truth, okay? You're speaking from the heart, you're speaking from the belly, from the root, from a place of power. You're passionate about something. You may even be angry about some of this stuff, because the word justice comes up here. So you are in these different circumstances where you need to speak your truth, you need to share, or you need to lead. And you don't know how it's going to be received. You have clearly been holding back because you thought it would be poorly received. But I think at this point, we have to stop caring about that. Okay. So you're beyond that. I see the tale of Esmeralda Marie. Hi, Mama. Hi, baby. She's licking her lips. Yes, I know. Did you eat? You want to come on up? So, there is this idea here of, I want to say, ending a cycle where you held yourself back and you did it because it was the smartest thing to do at the time. And now the smartest thing for you to do is to run your mouth, to share, okay, to express, and don't pay attention to how it lands. Okay, that's not the point. The point is it must be done. All right, moving on to Bethany Renner. Bethany Renner. Bethany, what do I have for you? I have you getting in a, I want to say, a position of power, potentially, and letting go of some things that are weighing you down. I feel like you just got this message, not necessarily from me. If I did, I don't remember it, of course, but I feel like you just got this message. It looks like it just came through in a dream. So I don't know if this was last night or if this was almost 3 nights in a row, but different segments. You are being told that this is a time in your life right now and in the near future here, very near, days and weeks, where you need to get rid of anything that is toxic, anyone that is holding you back, any contracts that are old, dusty, crusty, need to be renegotiated. You are in a place right now where this reevaluation in general is going to allow you to have more energy, more power, and you're going to be able to forge ahead. So it's like quick movement. You are in a power position, whether you fully recognize this or not. It's like you hold all the cards. You have a grandmother coming through who jokingly is smoking a cigar. I don't think she did. She may have smoked cigarettes. But anyways, she's got her drink, and then I see her, getting older and having tea, but always with the cards, always with the games, always with the, she had an eye, and she says you're just like her, for perceiving things, but not saying a word. Keep your cards close to your vest, keep your poker face on, and you wait to make a move. Okay. That's what you're doing right now. You have all the power, but you are about to make some moves. And I think some parts of you are saying to yourself, especially for the next this could be 2 days. I was going to say 2 weeks. Take it out resonates. You could be saying, I don't want to rock the boat. It's good enough. Nothing to see here. Nothing's really wrong. But that's not what you're going to be feeling from your gut. You're going to be feeling like you absolutely need to play your hand to make a change. And some of this is going to be a little hard to let go of because you've got things clinging to you. This could be male energy who just sucks a lot of life out of you. And then it could also be a financial situation that also just gets paid well from you. Okay. But it feels corrupt in some way. It's like, well, where's your payout? It's not worth that anymore. If you ever look at something you're paying off and you're like, it's not even worth that anymore. You know what I mean? Like I'm cutting this off or whatever. It could be something like that. Could it be work related? It's possible. All right. So, because again, we're talking finances, resources, and we are talking also, it feels like, some male energy here. What's going on, Mama? Hi. She's just waking up. Oh, she's just waking up. Yes, I love you. Okay. Yes, you're very welcome. CJG, you're very welcome. And Sweet Pea 1024, you're welcome. All right, we're going to move on to another one. Get her some catnip spray here. All right, who is next? Also, if you guys are tuning in late, this is the Unbound Sage. You drop a $10 donation and I deliver out whatever is the most important message for you to hear right now. If you need to book a reading with me, I do work internationally. You can go onto my website, IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com to do that. And if you want to gift one of these messages to someone, that's up on my website under Spirit Messages. Also, could everyone please give this video a thumbs up? Drop a comment of any kind. It helps me out in the algorithm, and let me know where you're tuning in from. All right, we're going to move on to Deanna Alt. Deanna Alt. Immediately I get a headache. Immediately over on the right side. Now, the right side of the brain in symbology is going to be about not using your intuition, even though you're getting a lot of messaging, refusing to trust your gut, being double-minded, and having essentially a buildup of information coming in here. This is also affecting the back a little bit. So you could be going through a stressful situation that is like not necessarily the back, but almost like the bottom of the head, the upper neck, which I guess could be affecting in the back. Now, I can't prescribe or diagnose, but whatever it is, it's stress at the root of it, however it manifests for you. And I think what you're really trying to do right now is get a little more in alignment, okay? What is my higher mind telling me? What is the universe showing me? How can I be more in alignment with my life contract? I think a couple things that come up here, looking for more fulfillment, looking for more ease, trying to work less or be less stressed. Like you are working really hard. Here's a good way to say this. You're putting out 180%. And you're getting back like 50, 70, 75. So where can you adjust? And I think this is affecting resources, finances, career especially, but you may be doing this in all areas. And what you need to look at now is how you can use, because the right side of the body is also your power outside. So how can you use your power to make the proper changes going forward? One of the battles you could be facing that's stressing you out right now is a little bit of your own stinking thinking or the way that you talk to yourself or negative mentality, telling yourself that you can't or telling yourself that you're not good enough or that you can't get things done, making yourself feel as though certain things are impossible or you shouldn't dare step out and do them. It's really feeling like low self-esteem, a lack of confidence, maybe imposter syndrome, or I don't want to get into a situation where I could feel imposter syndrome. And it's sort of this energy right now of who cares? I want to do more. I want to be more because that's going to allow me to fulfill my life contract. That's going to bring a sense of greater satisfaction. You may also be feeling at this time like lack of communication with someone, whether it be an argument that wasn't resolved, it be backbiting, pettiness, gossip, triangulation. Someone said something that was hurtful. I don't think you did this. I think somebody said this to you, or that they're saying hurtful things. This could be happening in it's possible a relationship, okay, or like this could almost be with like a love partner, and then you're dealing with in-laws. It could, but this also feels like it could be a work environment. Take It Out resonates. You could be feeling this sort of bubbling up of energy that went from disappointment or a bit of sadness from understanding how that speech negatively affected you and that they don't seem to care, to righteous rage. Okay, and handling that. All right, Shauna Dempsey. What's going on? Holy cow. Shauna Dempsey, what am I getting for you? All right, Shauna. I feel like, Shauna, you're kind of the opposite of where Deanna is. Deanna's got like 5 different things going on. It's like, kind of come to the surface, like ready to purge, You're the opposite right now, okay? So it's funny that Spirit put you in alignment right under her, right after her. Your message here today is to kind of ride the wave. You've been doing a lot of work and sorting through and, processing, reevaluating, renegotiating. You've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. I heard out with the old, in with the new. And now that things are here and you're starting to feel a bit more like the new life is arriving, your things are taking off. Now I'm cooking with gas. There's this sense of harmony and balance and reciprocity that's growing. It almost looks like I keep hearing Jack and the Beanstalk. I don't know if you enjoyed that as a kid or what the heck. But anyways, it's like Jack and the Beanstalk's Jack and the Beanstalk's vine that was like a tree, right? Like growing up and through you. It's like up and through you, through your chakras. And this is symbolic of health. It's symbolic of prosperity. It's symbolic of new, fresh, healthy, right? Vibrancy. And technically, because they climbed in that story, the beanstalk, to get up to the top, it's levels up, potential for levels up here. So what does that mean for you now? Well, you just have to really let it grow, because something like that, even in Jack and the Beanstalk, I see why this is coming up. You may be expecting it to happen immediately, because that happened overnight, right? The kid bought the beans from the donkey guy, and then like it happened, and it was like, what? And he went up and all the things, right? Immediately. You may be looking for instant gratification or instant payout. You may be a little restless and being like, okay, where's my payout? I just did all this work, all this labor, and what's next? Let's get on with the show. And it doesn't really work that way. Okay. So your job right now is just to stay centered, enjoy the peace, enjoy the harmony, and enjoy the fact that the second someone or something comes in with some BS to dysregulate you, to move your focus from yourself or what's important, to steal your joy or deplete your energy, you were like, no, immediately no. All right. So right now we're in a bit of a phase of working on those things, and that stock is growing. Really exciting stuff here coming up for you. Tanya Rivera, another Rivera. Okay. Tanya Rivera. What do we have for Tanya? You seem a little tired. You seem a little like, I kind of want to cry, and then I want to lay on my pillow, and I don't want anybody bothering me. And it's like, if somebody were to come in and be like, Tanya, you're like, no, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this today. And it's really more of a sense of like, don't ask me for anything, because they're not coming to you with like breakfast in bed or tea, or offering you some loving blessings and comfort. They're coming for what you offer. It's like, hey, Tanya, can you do this? Tanya, are you still here? I need, So you just seem to be done, essentially, with helping anyone else right now. Maybe you are energetically reaching that point, and so you're going to be noticing this in the next like 48 hours or so, that physically, mentally, emotionally, that's where you're at, and there's not anything left to give. You are not willing to pour from an empty cup, so you're cutting off. Maybe taking a little downtime would be wise. This could also be a period where you're just self-isolating a bit more. This could be not responding to all the things that are coming at you, texts in the world and da 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 da. I'm just like, I'm not reacting. I'm literally tuning it out. It's a form of protection, but it comes through, it's almost like disassociating. And that's fine. I think that it's a temporary tool to get you to where you need to go. And where you need to go is where you want to be ultimately. So being ready for a burst of energy that's coming in here, it's almost like enjoy some quiet days, because here it comes. If you've been hoping on a blessing, you've been praying for a manifestation to, a breakthrough, you've been waiting on some type of elevation to come in that brings you not only blessings, but really like a roadmap and a confirmation that you're going in the right direction, that's coming in 3. I'm assuming that's 3 weeks. Could it be 3 days? It could. I doubt it will take 3 months. It feels more like 3 weeks. Okay. But it will be coming also in a set of 3 different blessings. So all good things there. Next one up is Danny Ruiz. Danny. What am I getting for you? I want to say that if you're dealing with any back issues, hip, or anything in your butt, there could be a lot of healing energy going to that. Now, I can't prescribe or diagnose. This can also be the part of our body where we see a manifestation from undealt with issues, such as feeling powerless, feeling like your finances are off or there's a threat to your resources, feeling like there are miscommunications. I heard misfirings as well. So if you're in an environment where maybe people are not sure if they're going to get laid off, now they're pretty sure they're going to get laid off. There's talks of firing. There's talk of like, things just being chaotic and a lack of foundation in general. This could also, even if it's not happening directly to you, could be manifesting in that part of your body because you're around it and you're like a level 4 empath. And when you're like this, you soak up involuntarily the energy from other people, the collective energy. I think what you're trying to do right now is get yourself into a free space, a free zone. It's almost this image of if you were playing a board game and you were like, I just need to get to that square right there. When I get there, I can take a deep breath. I won't have to make a move for a while, and I can figure out what my game plan is. I think what you're trying to do here is put yourself on the offense and get out of defense mode. This reminds me a little bit of chess. What I think is going to be happening for you here is that the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to reveal some information you've been waiting on. It's hard to make a move, even if when you get to that square and you can wait a minute, which is coming, 2 weeks out. But even then, it's hard to make a move without having all the information. You don't really want to go blind. And what's happening here for the next few weeks is that you're getting bits and pieces of information that will allow you to release something that's been causing you stress. It'll give you info so that you can put all the pieces of the puzzle now are here. I could put the whole puzzle together and you can understand how to make moves. What we don't want to see you do for the next 2 months, and then again at about 8 months out from now, is slow down, keep going, push forward. It's like this plowing forward type of energy. All right. So movement forward. and not allowing yourself to become double-minded or to be like, well, I should just take my blessings, or things could be worse, or I don't want to rock the boat. This is a time for change. And I think ultimately by the end of the year, I don't think this year, maybe this year. Okay. I mean, it looks even better at the end of 2026, but let's just say by the end of the year, because that's how Spirit said it, just by the end of the year. And you have a paternal energy coming through here, watching over you, who's also backing this and helping you. By the end of the year, you're going to feel like you're in more of a power position than what you've ever been in. And you're going to ride that out. And that has to do with your own money, no shared income. All right. So this is an interesting transition. Is that Delilah? Delilah. Yeah, that's cute. Delilah W. Delilah, what do I have for you? Delilah. You seem to, your totem right now is a squirrel. If you haven't been watching them, they're pretty hilarious. You may want to. It could be actually really good for you, better than like going to the water or getting out in nature and like, I don't know, hugging a tree. Like, just watch a squirrel do what it's doing right now. This is a period of time in your life where you are hunting, gathering, storing. You are preparing, and you are getting ready to be like, bye-bye, see you next life. You're ready to like get out of here for a while. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And so you could be feeling a little exhausted at this time, a little burnt out. You have a grandmother coming through who's giving you a red rose, which is a birthday or anniversary right around this time. It can also be a passing anniversary, or just a deep love. Take it how it resonates. But I feel like she's trying to bring you some uplifting energy and to remind you that you are cared for, that you are watched over, that you are loved. And I think one of the other things you could be doing right now is to understand how adored you are. People may not be reciprocating as much as you hope. Maybe you need to hear that you're loved. Maybe you need to see more support from people. Maybe you're going through a period of time where you wish people were reaching out and checking in, just touching base with you a little bit more, but your grandmother's reminding you that you really are adored. Okay. I have another maternal energy coming through here as well. I can't tell if this is like mom or if this is another grandmother, but love, songs coming on the radio to uplift you. Songs popping in your head that uplift you. Hearing you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Okay. Which is also a symbol in the sunflower, or the sun itself, of spiritual development. You're going through a period of, hard work now, but you're entering into, let's say, a period of spiritual development. And that may come in the hibernation that's right around the bend here for you, where it really peaks, and you come out a very different creature in the spring. Okay. You come out, you pop out of, I don't know where squirrels go. I don't know, in a tree. I think they bury their food in the ground and they live in a tree, which doesn't make any sense. I don't know how they get the food, but anyways, you may be trying to, prepare for the new you, this whole evolution. And right now it is a little exhausting. It may feel like you're I heard spinning your wheels, or like mouse on a wheel energy. But this is a time for you to sort of celebrate yourself. You know what? It's almost like, damn it, if no one's going to celebrate me, if no one's going to check in, I'm going to check in with my own self. Okay. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. All right. And know that know that Spirit is as well. And I do want to move on to Miami Heat 305-ish. Okay. Miami Heat 305-ish. What do I have for you? Someone's trying to hold you down. Someone's trying to knock you down. Someone's trying to steal your crown. It's like all this weird negative, weird rhymes here about a person or a situation that is sneaking up from behind. Now, I don't like when a situation comes at you from behind, because it also suggests this is like a covert narc, that this is a weasel type. This is some dork who thinks that they're going to come in here and they're going to do damage without you seeing. The thing is, you have eyes in the back of your head. Your third eye's open, your crown's open, your chakras are pretty darn aligned. You have literally eyes in the back of your head. And Spirit has your back. I'm also seeing a black snake for you. And a snake in my symbol base is about having a different vantage point. It can also symbolize healing, and it can attack and no one will see it coming. Okay. So I think some situation is a person is misunderstanding you. They don't understand who you are. They don't understand what you're working with. They don't understand where you've been, and they don't understand what's about to happen to them. And that's how we want to keep it. The smartest thing you can do in situations like this where there's something negative trying to knock you down is to play dumb. Act like you don't see it until you're ready to kill it. Okay. So it's like, what? We're not friends. I don't understand. What do you mean? And then it's too late for them. Cut them off at the knees. And so that's what you seem to be doing for the next, I'm hearing 2 to 3. It could be 2 to 3 days where you're collecting the information, but it could be like 2 to 3 weeks in general where you're playing it out, you're making your move in that between the second and the third week. Now, cutting it off is not hard. It's very Queen of Hearts, is that, or the Queen of Swords, or I'm seeing that tarot card. I'm seeing Alice in Wonderland, off with their heads, off with their heads. One swipe, it's done. And I think that you may find yourself in upcoming weeks being a little ruthless or feeling a little heartless or feeling like you have to be a little bit aggressive, we're beyond assertion here. Okay. It's aggressive. And you're like, I really don't know that I want to do that. But it's like, it doesn't matter what you feel. It doesn't matter what you want. What has to be done has to be done. Okay. So handle it. And I think it may also affect your finances and anything you're doing in regards to your resources, career, side hustle really well. This will affect everything positively. All right, Miami Heat. Thank you. Elvin Ramos is next. Elvin Ramos. What do we have for you? I heard don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't talk. Shh. It's like don't talk. Pull back, but keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open. Keep your wallet open, or keep your bag open. La Bolsa, it's like you have a set of grandparents coming through here. La Bolsa, like keep your bag open to receive. This is receiving time. And this is about understanding that when you think too much about something, you talk too much about something, when you share energetically about something, you can make it into law. You can call it into truth. You can bring it into fruition. So don't be thinking or speaking on anything you don't want. That includes complaining. That includes just maybe bitching and gossiping about, things that haven't worked out, even if it's in the past. Like, clean it up. Sometimes there's a period in life where it's best just not to talk much to people at all. And to be very careful about the way you think, meaning the way you talk to yourself or the way you allow your brain to talk. Okay. And ultimately, with this bag being open, you're going to receive some blessings. And right now, we just need to not interfere. Okay. That's it. Sit tight, keep your mouth shut, keep your eyes and ears open, which also suggests that we're filling this bag with information that you're picking up. I do wonder if some people around you are slipping up, or if they're saying and doing things that you can use for your own benefit, your own advantage, or if you have any like opponent, you want more resources to like go against them with. They're providing it. They're shooting themselves in the foot. Now, again, I still have you collecting, right? Putting in the bag, but I don't have you saying anything, which can mean I will use this information if I have to, but I'm hoping it just plays out and unravels on its own. So this could be a lawyer, a judge. This could be someone else in the situation. This could be anyone watching who says, I saw this thing. Here's the truth. And the truth is revealed, and you are still sitting there looking calm, cool, collected, because you are. You're not looking, you are. You are the embodiment of that right now. You are waiting on all of this to unfold, okay? I feel good about this. But you got to watch your mouth sometimes. You have to watch your mouth. You have to watch your brain. You tend to not think ahead of time. You sometimes get yourself in a pit and then it's like, well, I have to rewire, like back up. I have to reverse my way out of this. It's not that easy. Slow your roll and just be more mindful, okay? In general right now. It's too funny. All right. Stella Marie, what do I have for you? My jaw is cracking and my right upper shoulder and neck hurts. Now, I can't prescribe or diagnose. I'm not saying you have a crick in the neck. But if you have a crick in the neck, it could be stress at the root, maybe a new pillow. And the stress in the jaw can also be grinding of the teeth, which typically happens at night, which is also stress related. So like at the root of some of this, I do think you are not processing some stuff that's going on mentally where you feel out of alignment with things in your life right now. I heard stress. I don't know how this is going to work out. I see a bigger focus on resources to the future as well. What will be there? What won't be there? What does it mean? Where's it going? Where's it not going? What's my foundation? Do I have a foundation? Then it's looking out to other people in your circle. And it's like, who do I have to take care of? And who will be taking care of me? Some of this is about reciprocity. No, I have to fix my TikTok puzzle. I'm just going to yell, okay, so I can fix it and finish this message all in one. Some of this is about reciprocity. And when we talk about being stressed in this way because you haven't maybe done the work, or you're recognizing that there are imbalances, but you really, how do I want to say this? You kind of have no one to blame at this point but yourself. Okay, it can add to the stress. So I'm not trying to stress you out more. And I don't think you want to stress your own self out. I don't think you're really in the mood to be, hard on yourself. I think you're in the mood to do some healing and focus on self-love and just be authentic. But there is a lot of concern about all the things that I mentioned and you feeling powerless, essentially. I put out a video today on the third chakra, the solar plexus, and you really need to go watch that. It's funny because I feel like that's up there for you because Spirit was pushing, like, get it out here by the end of, like a certain time today. And I was like, my God, what is happening with this video? I would go watch that. And some of you who are understanding Stella's message here, you may also want to go watch that. But if you find that you're not funny, you're not finding anything funny anymore, if you find that you are feeling powerless, if you feel like you're dealing with guilt or you're pushing guilt down, the TMJ or the grinding of the teeth, the stress in the jaw, the popping of the jaw, the pain in the neck, the crick in the neck. And again, these, I can't prescribe a diagnosis. I'm not saying these are literal physical manifestations, and we don't want them to turn into that. That's the point. Okay. You clear the chakra, you eliminate this from manifesting. Okay. But it does need to be looked at. And this could have come from, as I speak in that video, on issues with control and authority. So between 15 and 21, we develop a block in the solar plexus, and then, it just sort of grows in time if we don't deal with it, because you were either over controlled by authority or there was a lack of control, by authority. And it has put you in a position now where maybe you don't even want to take a calculated risk and you won't step out. Thank you so much for the hearts on TikTok. I appreciate you guys. But you need to get back in the flow of things. Okay. So there's that. Janet, Gomez is next. Okay, Janet Gomez. Janet Gomez, what do I have for you? You're saying I'm done. I want to go home. And I have you also tuning a lot of things out that just aren't for you. So it's sort of like I'm tuning out this nonsense. I'm tuning out this BS. I'm tuning out this noise. So going forward, but it feels like even now and in the last 3 days, you've already been doing this quite a lot. You are tuning out whatever you feel is not for you. You may be getting real cutthroat about how you allow society or the government or negativity around you or social misfortune, all the things that are going on in the chaos of the world. You may be tuning that out and saying, this will not affect me. This will not steal my joy. There is a desire here for you to be more either activism, advocacy, feeling more empowered within yourself, your own life, and then being able to give that out to other people, assisting other people. I just did a church service on Sunday it was something like when everyone wants to give up on life. Okay, how to navigate. This would be good for you to watch. I give 10 helpful tools if you're in a state of despair or people around you are in a state of despair. And that's what you're dealing with right now, but you're trying to not drown in it. You are a level 2-3 empath. You are absorbing from atmospheres, other people's energy. And I think that ultimately you are here on earth in a power position that you haven't fully claimed. I think whether it be the last 2 years, you've been in one specific position, but the last 5 years total, you've gotten yourself in some positions. And I feel like I'm talking mostly work, but any life work that you do, where you are feeling it's not really using all of your abilities. There's the lack of fulfillment there. You're here to do something more, and you are. Now, I'm not saying you need to run as a politician or you need to, go become a reverend necessarily, or you need to launch a podcast, but these things wouldn't be wrong. There is this energy here of you coming more into your own. And these are the last days of the old you. With that change and transition may also come a greater recognition of who you are and your purpose, and a joy surrounding that, but also this nagging feeling of grief. And that's something we never talk about, is that as we move into the new us, we have to grieve the old us, that old life. And a lot of things right now for you may be feeling like they just don't fit. These shoes, these people, these relationships, these situations, even this living space, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit anymore. You also need to focus more on your own journey. Look at yourself more autonomously and less like people, especially in your family or whatever, are extensions of you, because they're not. No one's an extension of you. Okay. Not the dog, not your kid, not your husband. No one's an extension of you. So think forward, future you. Okay. Where do you want to go? Really interesting. Gabriel Yasmin on TikTok. Gabriel Yasmin on TikTok. Gabriel, what do I have for you? I feel as though you are experiencing life right now in such a way where you're not being fully heard. You're not being fully advertised. You're not being fully appreciated. You're not being completely seen. The recognition for what you've done, what your skill sets, it's not really being validated. But it's really you that hasn't validated your own self. So there's a need right now for you to slow down and to look at where you've been, and to also be honest. And you have a gentleman coming through, watches over you. I want to say like an uncle type of way. But I also have a grandfather type here. So a couple gentlemen watching over you who are talking about you have been unwilling to completely admit that you need to tweak a little bit the direction you're going in, especially in regards to your title, and allowing yourself to be in a field, even if it's going to take more time, even if it's going to be investment, even if it's going to be research or education, right? Certifications, whatever. maybe even quite a lot of financial investment, like literally, right? Even if that, it is time for you to admit that you aren't exactly where you need to be. You have a way of, in this spirit world, right? We call it wounded healer syndrome. But we see this a lot with people where it could look like victimhood and then like martyrdom, or like I give. I give, and I never get back. I'm not getting the recognition. I'm just not getting back. But we only do that when there's power to be had. Everyone's getting paid. No one's falling for that. All right. Everyone's getting something. So we do what we want to do. And you've been doing it because it keeps you small and it prevents you from having to look at those things that I just mentioned. Okay. But these guys are, egging you on. They're encouraging you. They're helping you with motivation and stamina and regulation. Okay. As you make some of these changes, the time is now. Do you get to hunt? As he gets to hunt, there's a bug in here. I don't even know how there's a bug in here. Probably got my heater cranked up. Yeah. Oh, poor Ezzy. You want to come up? You want to come say hi? You come say hi to everybody? No? Okay. Thank you. Let's move on to another one. Kelly P on TikTok. Kelly, what do I have for you? Kelly. Holy moly. You've got a lot of energy, and you've got a lot of things to say, and you've got like all these open tabs in your brain. You've got to have Gemini in here somewhere. I mean, there's got to be a significant placement. This is about understanding at this point in your life what to say and what not to say. And what your higher mind is telling you right now is that because you can have 15 tabs open in your brain and you're go onto this thought. What was I doing? It almost says like, and I can't prescribe a diagnosis. I'm not saying you have ADD. I'm just saying it's ADD like tendencies to be like, all over the place, scattered. The thing is, this is your natural way. So it's not scattered to you. It's not scattered in terms of your productivity or your prosperity. It's not scattered, right? People like us who do that, we know what we're doing. There is, what's the word I'm looking for here? There's like a method to the madness. Is that how we say it? It's looking like chaos maybe to other people, or like you're not paying attention, or like you're not as smart as you are. It's looking vulnerable, okay, to some outside circumstances and people. And so you could find for a while that people are testing you, trying you, pushing the line, okay, trying to see where your boundaries are, whether you have any boundaries at all. And this could look also like a boss coming in and dumping more work on you and being like, you don't mind, do you? Or she won't even notice because she's she won't even notice. Oh, you notice. And you aren't, I think, willing anymore at this stage in your life to take on whatever other people are bringing your way or entertain whatever they're saying. Give them time, attention, affection, energy, unless it's really worth it for you. And the way you're gauging whether or not it's worth it for you is if they already paid. It's like a prepay system. It's like you just raised your rates, added tax, and made it a prepay. And so you don't show up to that conversation, that party, right? That exchange, you're not showing up at all unless it has been paid for. This can also come through as recognizing patterns with people and situations you're involved with, may want to get out of, are debating on getting involved with. You see patterns of productivity, and then you're able to say, okay, I'm in. I'll test it. I'll try it. If it continues, then I'll stay maybe. But you are done with all in. Okay. You are done giving without checking the receipt to see what you're done with. There's no reciprocity, or people are delayed in their payouts. I'm hearing a lot of delays. You may also be dealing with people who are, and this could be on a more like personal level, you know, in relationships, but like they're slow to respond to you, or they're stringing you along. This reminds me a little bit of like cat and mouse in dating, which is an immediate first red flag is the last red flag. If you have someone trying to toy with you, right, it's a form of manipulation. You have to ask why. What are they getting? What are they trying to get out of this? People really think you don't catch things, and you catch everything. You can have 16, 20, 50 tabs open in your head, and they just don't know who you are. But the idea of you pulling back and being a little bit more observant is going to be key. And it will allow you to collect all the information you really need to collect. Okay, so quieting things down, quieting your energy down, quieting your mind down. This is also very symbolic of going to the right side of your brain, the intuitive side. So when we turn off the logical left side of our brain and we shift to the right side, it's just a stream of consciousness. You can hear from spirit. You could see the future. You can see the past. You can telepathically hear other people's brains. You can gather up anything you need in that space. You just have to quiet the other side. And that may be a big part of what you're doing as you go forward. Interesting. All right. Jessica Graham is next. Thank you so much for the hearts on TikTok. I love you guys. Always such great supporters over there. If you guys are tuning in late, this is the Unbound Sage, where you drop a $10 donation and I deliver out to you whatever is the most important message for you to hear at this time. If you need to book a reading, a psychic fair, a party with me, I do work internationally. Super simple self-booking system. You go to IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com. Gift certificates are now available as well. All right, let's see who we have next. If I didn't already ask you guys, I don't know, I'm like a broken record at this point, but please give this video a thumbs up and let me know where you're tuning in from. All right, Jessica Graham. Jessica, what do I have for you? I heard like Monopoly to Twister. You could be dealing with siblings as well, whether these be past life siblings that are now reincarnated with you or literal, could be a combination here. I think that you're going through a period of time here in the last couple months where you feel like you've been struggling to navigate a little bit. The idea of you having to make moves on a Monopoly game, but not having a lot of power or control in that. That's the point of the game. It's supposed to be fun. Yeah, it's fun as a kid. Okay. As an adult, it's stress. Okay. So you just have no control. But there is this sense of like, I'm rolling the dice. I hope this goes well. You know, I hope I land on a square. I hope I get some money for this. I hope I'm not just flushing, you know, all my money or resources down the like, I keep seeing that water card. So, you know, this could be like, you know, plumbing or the water bill or, you know, flushing it down the toilet, whatever it is. And it's almost this sense here of kind of cleansing out as well. It's like, I want to leave this behind. I want to get out of this game, basically. And you do too. Yeah. Esmeralda Marie Rivera, everybody. Say hi, Ezzy. You want out. Okay. What do you want to go into? Well, Twister. Okay. And for you, for you that are not that old, you can Google it, but Twister was a game in the 80s and 90s where, you know, you'd typically be playing with like your siblings, your cousins, whatever. I mean, your friends, you know, and you would spin this thing and it would have you twisted in all these weird directions because whatever color it landed on, it would be like right hand, you know, yellow, you know, left leg blue, and then you'd be doing it with other people. What I think this is symbolizing for you is wanting to get out of something kind of boring like Monopoly that is stressing you the F out, right? And allowing yourself to have more fun, more fluidity. It's not easy necessarily, but it is more exciting. And you are working with people in a very different way than what you ever have. And this is this new energy that you're coming into. And I feel like you're already in. You know the type of people you want to be around. And I'm not just talking about work. I think this is across the board for you. Okay. You want to be around more exciting people. You want to be where the energy is healthier, where people are more pliable, right? Where people are in general more uplifting and vibrant, healthy, just healthy. And I think that it's this ability that you have right now because the universe is hugely supporting it, especially in the next 3 to 6 months. But this will go a total of 3 years where you're building this, where you once and for all have your own security, your own foundation, your own resources, your own autonomy, money, whatever it is. You are no longer relying on an employer, the government, spousal income, shared income, a bank, an institution. Like, I'm not doing any of this. Like, this is your mentality. Is like, I want out. Okay. I want out of this game. I want out of all of this. And no more rolling the dice. No more. And that's not necessarily an easy thing to create. It's a twisty, topsy-turvy, but it could be a lot of fun for you. But the key is be in environments where you are feeling connected to what you're doing in the people, and it's, higher vibration. There is an opportunity here for you to come into significant power. I also want to say this is not a time for you to bite off more than you can chew, which may sound, like a dichotomy from what I just said a second ago, but I feel like I'm talking about taking on stuff that isn't yours. So if people are trying to give you their problems, if, it's like, oh, could you just run this errand for me? If you're not making sure, you may have to crack the whip on some people. It's not delegating if it's their responsibility. It's not your responsibility to do everything. So if there are people who aren't standing on their own 2 feet, don't see it as delegating out more. Realize that's their responsibility and force them to take it. Okay, so you're taking on less. Melissa, Subia, Melissa, what do I have for you? I have a grandmother coming in, left side of the family. This is going to be maternal side, maternal energy coming in, say, shh, and lighting a candle for you. I feel like she's been watching over and praying over you. She may have been very religious or very spiritual. Take it how it resonates. Deep faith. But I have her kneeling by the side of the bed, which is symbolic of protecting you in your sleep, but it's also symbolic of just sending you prayers and blessings. And this is you, in the bed. You're the one in the bed. She's kneeling on the side of your bed, and she's holding this candle, which is also, thank you for keeping the candle lit, as I like to say, but it's really like, don't forget me. Don't forget to talk to me. Don't forget to ask me for things. Don't forget to involve me in these conversations of your life. Okay. Keep the candle lit. Keep talking to me. Keep talking to me. I think that one of the things you may be dealing with, maybe the last like 3 or 4 days or so, I'm also hearing 7 and 8. So something happened between 7 and 8 days ago. This could have been a negative conversation with a male. I don't know if this is a son or if this is just an immature male. But he may have snapped at you, or he may have said something to you, and you were like, that's arrogance, or that's ego, or I don't know who you think you're throwing your weight around with. It's like kind of throwing elbows. But I think that you are wanting less stress, and you are being more mindful about the energy you allow in your environment and that you absorb. She's also talking about, and I can't prescribe a diagnose, frequent urination at night. So it's possible that and take it out resonates. It can just be a symbol for feeling a little stressed out and not dealing with it during the day. And so it manifests at night. But anything that's going on with this is a symbol, or literally frequent urination at night, this is about nervousness and fear that things aren't going to go right or are about to fall apart. Will they fall apart even worse than they had, or will I not be able to pull this off? So it's like, where is this coming from? Why do you, I want to say to you, like as your psychic, you may want to work more on lucid dreaming techniques where you cut your brain off when it's saying something negative or you had a nightmare, or, at night when we're resting, our brain will just go and we are taken along for the ride. Lucid means you stay in control. Okay. So the same way when you're awake in the middle of the day, you have a toxic thought, it's useless, it's old, dusty, crusty. You cut it off and you replace it with something more positive. You can learn to do that at night, right? You're not just susceptible to anything that comes up or pops in your head. I think that going forward, you're going to be in a unique position to talk about a lot of this, possibly share it like as a healer or a speaker, a teacher, a leader, a communicator. And you are in an important phase in your life where you're between that old world and that new world, and you're not sure the new world is going to come. Okay. How do you get from A to B confidently? It's almost like it's waiting on that. It's almost like if you're waiting on some breakthroughs, it's waiting on you to think right. You think right, it comes. It's kind of like saying we get what we want when we no longer want it, or we get what we need when we no longer need it, or we get what we, it's almost this cosmic joke, right? But it isn't. It's manifestation. It's law of attraction. It's alignment. That's what it is. All right. We're going to move on. Is there another one? Or are we doing last call? If we have any feedback, if you could pop it up, if we have any testimonials coming in, feedback of any kind, I would love to see that, and I can read that off. And I do want to say, everyone, this is going to be last call. She's taking a catnip bath here. So this is last call. So if you guys want to drop your donation, if you were thinking about doing it at all, now is the time. All right. And we will get to you in here in a minute. So Kelly on TikTok says, spot on. Thank you. All right. Wonderful. Thank you, Kelly. And Stella Marie 18J says, thank you. You speak truth. I try, Stella. Thank you. Glad it helped. All right. Do we have any other coming in or testimonials here? Again, if you guys need to book a reading, I do work internationally. So you go to IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com. That's in my description. And you can book a video reading if the times don't work for you, a phone reading or an email reading anytime. All right, next up is Deborah Rose. Deborah. Okay. Deborah Rose, what am I getting for you? I'm hearing it's a period of time to dance. It's a time to dance. If you were dealing with any health issues, I can't prescribe a diagnosis, whether this be literal health or like mental health, okay? Including energy, drops in energy, spikes in sugar, drops in energy, all this stuff. If you've been dealing with any stuff like this from the recent past, just even currently, I feel like you're putting that a bit behind you. Like, I have answers, I have solutions, I know what's going on, not like in the dark and just feeling like I'm in chaos about this. I get it. At least it's organized, and even if it's maintenance, it's like, I'm good. I'm good with that. But now, and the new phase you're entering into here, is less of this sort of self-examination and what's going on with this and that and the other, and my health and my mental health and my moods and da-da-da-da-da and the energy. Now it's like, I just want to move. I just want to be fluid. I just want to dance. I just want to celebrate. And the idea of they're showing you like the little red Spanish lady dancer emoji, it's like, I just want to spin. This is what I love about this emoji too. And in my symbol base, you don't need a partner. This has nothing to do with anyone else. This doesn't even have anything to do with where you are. You don't have to be at a dance class. You don't have to be, you know what I mean? You don't have to be at the club. It's literally a state of mind. And it's all about you being at your best and celebrating wherever you are, whatever you are, however you feel, right? Sing in the valley the same as you would sing at the peak of the mountain. You are learning how to do this. And this can suggest, again, a release from stress and tension. You're coming out of a time of heaviness, and that release creates joy. Now, we don't want to get addicted to pain so that we can feel joy. A lot of people do that, right? They create drama even just to have that adrenaline rush, that dopamine hit, that oxytocin, that feeling of joy once the pain is gone. Like, it's masochistic, really. We don't want to get into that. I think what you're trying to do is recognize that in the joy that you're going to be feeling here for a while, this sweet release, this sweet relief, this dancing, it's like, how can I have more of that without the pain? How can I have more of that without the problem first? How can I bask in this and feed this? Okay, elevate it. You also seem to be talking to children. Now, I don't know, this is a joke for you. It's like all these little bobblehead kids all around you. I feel like this could be a work environment, okay? And these aren't kids. These are probably adults, but maybe you oversee things. Going over here to the future, though, I see you leading, teaching, guiding, training, overseeing, okay? And you may have a lot of people kind of under you, or you're working in an environment where a lot of people are immature. Maybe you are kind of the most efficient, the elder, the parent type, okay, in these situations. And I think it's really going to pay off for you. Don't be afraid, hesitant to admit, though, to claim it, and to even require additional pay for that type of behavior. If there's anything you could do, it is running a business top to tail, running a company top to tail, running anyone's life top to tail, okay? And that should, it's very lucrative, okay? Just make sure you're getting paid on that. Okay, I think I got to everyone. Did I get to everyone? You know what, Kim? Can you pop up the lineup for the new shows that I'm doing? You guys, I just want to give you a reminder. I'm testing out the 2026 show lineup. Now, I will be in California for a while in December, so I won't be doing live shows at least the first 2 weeks. I'll be doing reruns. But I am testing out the first 3, and then toward the end of December, I'll test out the last 3. That poll that I ran recently where I said, what shows do you guys want to see? These are the ones you voted on and requested the most. So tune in, okay? Because if you are tuning in and I see a big interest, I am going to add it to the 2026 show lineup. Now, I'm keeping the Unbound Sage, and I'm keeping Ask Ivy and Dear Ivy because they are big hits. But I need to spice it up more, okay? None of us want to get bored. So this Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, the new show I'm testing out is called What Blessings Are Coming Your Way? It's exactly as it sounds. I'm going to tell you what blessings are about to hit for you. And then on Monday, which is the 24th, I am doing a test show on past life readings. And on Friday, the 28th, I'm doing pet readings. This is for your living or deceased pet. Okay? Looking forward to it. This is awesome. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Spirit, for tuning in. Again, if you guys need to book a holiday party, a psychic fair, or a reading, or a Reiki healing with me, you can go onto my website, IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com. I do all of that long distance. And there was something else I was going to tell you guys. Gift certificates, okay, are now on sale, and for the holidays, and raffle tickets are on sale also for my psychic mediumship course. You can win a 100% free seat and get registered. We start February 3rd. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. See you next time.